how are we still doing shit like this, man? Like, what the fuck? Tim Scott, man. I mean, he seems like a... No. He's a fucking asshole. What's he doing? What's he... Oh. How do people still buy this? How does people still buy into the fucking political speak? And they do. How are people so stupid? Like, how are people so fucking dumb? It doesn't make sense to me. How are they so dumb? It's one thing to be gullible. It's one thing to be like a follower. And you know, I knew that, you know, leaders, true natural born leaders don't grow on trees. Like, they're a rarity. They're a small portion of the, you know, population. We've always known that. I've always known that. You know, they're hard to come by. But just because a small portion of the population, a very small portion of the population are capable of being leaders, I didn't think that meant everyone else was a fucking follower. Like, everyone else? Like, I thought, and you know, I guess people will say that. It's like, oh no, a lot of people are just in between and don't care. It's like, no, you're a follower. If you don't care, like, what are you doing? You're just going along, riding with the current, right? You're just following. Whatever it is, following other people, following a narrative, following a routine, following a, you know, certain belief that you don't want shattered. You're just following the masses, following the status quo, following path of least resistance. It's just so disheartening that there's that many fucking weak, stupid followers on this planet. It's disheartening. But then, you know, you hear things like, well, it only took 3% of the population to win the revolution. And yeah, but it wasn't like this. You didn't have the rest of the people just working against you, whether they know it or not. And I mean, you did have some, I'm sure, maybe even a lot, who were terrified of the idea of leaving the UK and like becoming their own country. Like, no, fuck that, blah, blah, blah. Like, because you just want to, you know, there's always going to be people that just want to be told what to do, want to be, you know, governed and taken care of. There's always going to be people that want to be taken care of and that are scared, and that just, it's just a mindset, man. Like, got to figure out a way to break through enough to enough people to change their mindset. But you can't just snap your fingers and change someone's mindset. You gotta, it's like, it takes practice. It's habitual. You gotta put in effort and, you know, actively know what you're doing to actually change your mindset. It doesn't just change overnight. And with everything going out that we hear, that we see, that we feel, going against what I'm saying, it just seems like impossible. It wouldn't be if people quit holding back. Tucker Carlson finally last night, man. That's a monologue I've been waiting for, dude. He laid it all out there, man. Dick slapping fools. And he was pissed, and you could tell. We need that every night from everybody that we can get. Because it's playing nice. And even, like, acknowledging the fucking pandemic. Like, acknowledging things that, you know, like, all these caveats and all these, like, you know, all these, well, we got to say this, but yeah, you know, I'm hardcore against them, but we, you know, we got to appease them here and appease them there. It's like, no, you fucking don't. Like, I don't know how many times I've wanted to take this fucking bat and beat my fucking television or smash my phone. And whenever I hear a Republican, which, I mean, Republican, Democrat, who even cares? Republican doesn't mean shit anymore. But a supposed conservative, a supposed, like, you know, constitutionalist, a supposed free market, free-minded fucking individual thinker, supposedly, gets up and says, oh, we've got a crisis at the border, all these illegals coming in and blah, 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 which, yeah, I agree with all that. Can't have it. It's bad. And they say, in the middle of a pandemic, no less. Why? It's not, there's no pandemic. There's no fucking pandemic. Death rate's the same. Fat people die. Old people die. They always have. They always will. I don't know. I mean, even like Matt Gaetz, you know, like, fucking seems like an, you know, a real true outsider. And, you know, I still, you know, I'm not ruling him out, but just so obedient and susceptible to the, like, the masks, and, like, he talks about, he keeps saying, referring to the pandemic, even like Tucker Carlson, he refers to the pandemic like it's, so it's like, and like the election, we know, man, everyone knows, dude, everyone knows, nobody voted for that fucker, man, come on, dude, everybody knows, but it's like, there's one or two or three things that you just can't get into, and it's like, it seems like they're going against the narrative when they fight for certain things, like, oh, he's calling out illegal immigration. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I like him because most liberals and the media, they don't want you talking about it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. But what about the two or three things that really nobody talks about? That's when it's like, I mean, it's just stupid and pointless. Because they're not going to do anything when it really matters. And it's just crazy that people don't see it. Like, how are they still getting away with this game? They're doing this facade over and over and over. And people are actually repeating it and taking it in as fact, as gospel. Is like, how many times has Fauci lied to us? How many times has he been wrong? How many times has he fucking been caught with his hand in the cookie jar, huh? Man, Gaetz, how many times? What are we doing, man? I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Even Ron DeSantis, man. I love him. The press pulverizer. That's what I call him. So you don't put up with no shit from the press. But, you know, he talks about the pandemic like it's a pandemic, and it's not. He should know that better than anybody. I mean, he did that freaking roundtable, and it was it was said by all those professionals, and then he goes on Tucker and he mentions the pandemic. It's like he just talks about it like he didn't have that roundtable, like there's a real pandemic. Talks about Biden as if he's really president. So it's like, I don't even, like, even that guy, that's probably as good as you're going to get. Him, Matt Gaetz, Trump's a wash. We just need Alex Jones to be president. The only one fucking speaking the truth, him or fucking Owen or me. I don't know. But we need to switch shit up, man. We need to shake shit up. Quit being comfortable with this, quit ignoring this shit and trying to stay in your little corner and watch your Netflix. Fucking get rid of Netflix. Like, for Christ's sake. Like, I know I'm doing this on YouTube and I post on Facebook and, like, yeah, it's hypocritical of me. I'm aware of how that looks and I get it. Like, the irony of it, I get it. Like, they're all corrupt. They're all evil, really. But, I mean, just the blatancy of Netflix, like, just literally promoting and pushing pedophilia, like, no doubt about it, plain as day, hardcore, and no shame about it. And people just like, what do people have to say what do you say to yourself to keep that subscription, in order to keep that subscription? What do you have to say to yourself? Like, I gotta know. I want to know. Like, I deleted that thing the second I fucking saw that shit and that poster and then later on the trailer, and I haven't missed it since. Because why would I don't want to interact with pedophiles and people that like pedophilia and push that shit. It's like pretty gross to me. So if something pushing that, I don't want to like be associated with it. I sure shit don't want to fund it. Hello? I mean, that's the thing. Facebook, YouTube, like, not necessarily funding those. Like, I'm directly giving Netflix my money. And there's, oh, you guys, millions of people, billions of people still doing it. For fucking what, dude? For what? Most of it's just propaganda anyway. Pedophilia propaganda. I don't know. When you get loud, I know there's men out there. I've seen the videos of men standing up, but we need more, man. And don't stay in your little conservative areas. Like, everyone's going to Florida. That's great. And maybe we'll, eventually we'll have to congregate there just to be safe. But like right now, I got a fire in my gut to get to California. And I know it's collapsing. I know it's nothing but fucking crazy liberals, but that's why. Like, so that's where the fight is, That's where change needs to happen. We can't just let it, you get a fucking cancer or tumor. You can't just like ignore it and let it grow and do its thing while you're like over here, in your heart, just like focusing on that. Meanwhile, your kidneys are getting all fucked up and you're just like, well, I don't want to go down there with them. Like, no, you can get down there and fucking clean that shit out. I don't like medical metaphors. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. Sorry for that, but you get my point. I don't like violence. I'm very non-confrontational. I'm not saying anybody should do this, but anybody's still going on about this COVID shit and telling me to wear a mask, the next person that does it, I'm fighting them. Like, there's no reason, there's no excuse to still be going on about that shit. I mean, it was never a law from the beginning. It's definitely not one now. Mandate even has been taken down. So it's like, you get in my face about a mask, I'm hitting you. And that's what we have to do. Not violence necessarily, hitting people, but just fucking making people uncomfortable with your words or with your act. Somehow, like, play a little dirty. I don't want to hurt anybody unless they tell me to wear a mask. But we gotta play a little dirty, man. Enough's enough. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to find a way. I'm trying to work my way into that 3%, I guess. And trying to bring more of the 97 along with me, but I'm just going to have to accept that that's not how it's going to be. I just got to figure out my own way to fight it. I mean, I already have been, but actually, not just fight and resist, but actually instill and make change. And conserve what is left that's worthy of being conserved. Alright, whatever, fuckers. Take off your stupid masks.